We live in a world where automobiles are one of the largest consumers of fossil fuels, and the world has acknowledged its dwindling oil supply as reflected by soaring fuel prices. Those labelled as loony environmentalists are suddenly starting to make sense. Now, auto companies are forced to improve engine efficiency to remain competitive. New technologies are now being incorporated to improve fuel consumption. The simplest is an engine start-stop system that just turns off the engine when the car is not moving. For example, when stopped at a traffic light, the system will shut off the engine. And when the driver wishes to move, he presses the accelerator and the engine will start right up again. No fuel is burnt and wasted while the car is stationary. This can help reduce consumption by about 8%, a perfect feature for people living in a metropolis such as KL. Variable valve timing, or VVT, is a technology that has been around since the 1980s. At higher speeds, you need to suck in more air, so you have to keep the valves open longer. But at lower engine speeds, that setting will cause unburnt fuel to leak out, limiting performance and wasting valuable petrol. Older engines had no choice but to run on a fixed setting. VVT enables the valves to operate on different settings at different speeds. This makes the engine more fuel efficient while giving a better overall performance. Efficiency improves by about 5%. Here's the idea behind forced induction technology. The faster petrol can be burnt in the cylinder, the more power the engine will produce. In a normal engine, air just flows through uninhibited. However, a turbocharger or a supercharger forces more air and thus more oxygen into your engine, giving you more power. A smaller engine can produce the same amount of power as a larger engine, maintaining performance while reducing fuel consumption. Volkswagen's TSI engines are a great example, and local boys Proton are expected to introduce a turbocharged Exora by 2011. Efficiency-wise, an increase of 7.5%. Direct injection involves fuel being sprayed directly into the combustion chamber and allows a very precise and controlled spray of fuel at a higher pressure so it can combust with a bigger bang. Being so precise gives you options. You can either be more aggressive when tuning the engine, resulting in more power for the same amount of fuel, making it more efficient. Or you can tune it to give the minimum fuel to air ratio needed at low speeds, just enough to keep the engine running, also resulting in greater fuel savings. Just how much do you save? A whopping 12%. While the technologies designed by car makers are encouraging, the quality of the fuel itself plays an important role. Certain fuels contain additives that actually cleans the entire intake system as it works. Additive manufacturers recommend a minimum of 400 parts per million. Certain petrol companies choose to double that dosage, the maximum recommended. To sum it up, clean fuel plus fuel-efficient technology equals saving the environment and saving you your hard-earned cash.
From its humble beginnings, the people's car has always enjoyed a small following among Malaysians. But from economical utilitarian vehicles, Volkswagen now intends to change that perception with the new Sirocco and this, the Passat CC.
Well, typical Malaysian fashion, Malaysian weather, unpredictable weather. Well, we were hoping for nice, clear blue skies, but nevertheless, reviews must go on. We are in the Passat CC. I'm giving a nice test drive right now. What I like about this, let's just talk about the handling of this car. Well, not too bad actually. However, we've got this three setting modes: comfort, normal, as well as sports mode. But I would strongly recommend going on the sports modes because I think the comfort and normal is a little bit on the floaty side, especially when you go into the turns and whatnot. Now it's a little bit bumpy. I'm on sports mode right now. Let's just see what happens when we go on comfort. Okay. If you're traveling about speeds about 60 to 110, it's quite nice and comfortable. It damps the bumps and whatnot, gives you a little feeling like you're riding over the waves. But however, if you'd like to take a little bit aggressive on this car, it tends to be a little bit floaty. Now even the normal mode gives you a little bit of a hard setting, but nevertheless, sports mode will be my typical fashion. We have about 197 brake horsepower. We are running a standard 6-speed transmission. This is the 2.0 turbo engine, which is taken off the Sirocco. And you might think it's a big car, it's a nice long car, but does it have enough power? Well, just let me tell you this, it has enough power. We're doing about 0 to 100 in approximately 7.8 seconds. Okay, let's just try and hit this little corner here in sports mode and just see what happens. Yeah, we're just hitting it in right now. Steering is nice and precise, very predictable steering. Alright, the turbo kicks in, not much of a lag there. Pretty nice, pretty smooth. I kind of like it. Okay, we're just going to stop for fuel right now. Just let me tell you a little bit about this car. What I like about it, everything's just electronically inspired. Let's just talk about the onboard computer. Everything's at the tip of your fingers on the steering wheel. And another thing what I like about it, you want to feel fuel, because everything's electronic. VW has just come up with a very simple way to put it by the door over here. This is how we are going to open the fuel cap. Well, the good thing about a Passat CC is that it takes raw 95, but the choice is in your hands. 97 for more power, 95 for fuel economy. Fancy 97? I believe that Volkswagen has just come a very long way. The interior is very, very nice and neat. Everything is within reach. The seats are very comfortable. Interior color, well done Volkswagen. However, things that I don't really like is getting in and out on the back of it. It's a little bit of a chore, but once you're inside, it's pretty nice and comfortable. Another thing that I don't really like, very bad visibility behind. It's typical of coupes, even like the CLS. But it is a coupe anyway. It is supposed to be low slung. So what more can we ask for? This is the Passat CC. Well, overall, what I think, the Passat CC has got presence, which is what this car is all about. It's all about design, it's all about giving that groove factor. Well, I think Volkswagen has got it spot on in terms of design and interior as well. And you know what, it's a great car to drive, so if you're thinking of doing a test drive, I think you should do it as well. But the most important thing of all, apart from its setbacks like low visibility and whatnot, they've compensated with this. Check this out. We have got a reverse camera. My name's Sharizan and you're watching Driven.
Designed for those who need the practicality of a family sedan, but want something more exciting, the Passat CC would be a good choice indeed. With sharp looks inside and out, Volkswagen Malaysia hits a winner by replacing the automatic transmission on the Passat CC with a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission to complement its punchy 2-litre engine. Our verdict? We would give the CC a higher rating if it wasn't for the expensive price tag, but still, a respectable 7 out of 10.
When we come back, Sharizan and Harvinder take on an Italian job.